This video is brought to you by patreon.com/worsttake. Get access to exclusive live streams and Discord servers, on-screen shoutouts, and early access to some videos when you join now. Help make sure that we can continue to make content like this by supporting the Patreon. Links are in the description down below. Yo, man, it's almost time. This has been one of the shortest weeks in my life. This has also been a long week. It's been short because there's been so much to do, so much work, like there is for every season. It's funny. For somebody who grew up as a diehard fan of the team, it used to feel like the 7 days between football games, even when the Browns weren't good, the 7 days between football games felt so long because I just spent all week anticipating the game. And now that I make content for people like me who are anticipating the game, that grind makes the weeks go by like this. And I'm sitting here and on one hand, I'm like, damn, it's already Thursday. The game is in 2 days. On another hand, I'm like, it feels like it's been 2 months since I've seen the Cleveland Browns actually try to play a football game. And that's what I think the theme of this video is going to be about. It's going to be about getting ready. Are the Browns ready? Are they healthy? Are they getting healthy? I think they are. But it's about getting ready, getting prepared. Is this team, are the people in that locker room finally at the right place and the right time to take advantage of that moment? Now, first thing of business out the way. First, we're just going to talk about the obvious stuff. Dustin Hopkins likely not going to play, but Grant Delpit, like if we don't hear any bad news today, he's probably going to play. So that's awesome. And Grant Delpit, I did a whole video about why it's important that he gets back. And I've even mentioned that Grant Delpit is a bigger get back than like Dustin Hopkins, despite the fact that Dustin Hopkins, makes you feel a little bit better. But getting Grant Delpit back is certainly more meaningful to this team's ability to win football games. But Grant Delpit, nice piece, whether you have Dustin Hopkins or not, which he hasn't been 100% ruled out, but it's likely he's not playing. The real question for the Cleveland Browns this week is, are they ready? And vice versa, a question here for the Houston Texans is, are they ready? Because one of the things that haven't gone talked about is that the Cleveland Browns are by far the more veteran team in this matchup. What do I mean by this? I mean literally what I just said. The Browns are the more veteran team. They have much more playoff experience. They've been here as a group together before. They've seen how easily it can feel like when you're in the Houston Texans position that you'll just be back next year, right? The Browns got there in 2020. We thought, hey, man, we're going to be back here for 2021, 2022. And the next thing you know, it takes until the 2023 season for the Cleveland Browns to get back here. So not only do you have a group of guys who know how hard it is to get back, but you also have a group of guys who understand the moment. And I think that's been one of the Browns' most important things that they have figured out as a team this year. And that is how to get ready for the moment, how to be prepared to take advantage of the moment, how to see an opportunity of victory in front of them and take it. Because Cleveland Browns teams of the past, and not just Cleveland Browns teams, but you'll see this around the NFL, teams that aren't ready to win yet, teams that are ready to win some games in the regular season but aren't like serious is what I mean. They will do this thing where they'll see an opportunity of victory and they'll let it pass because they don't understand that's the last opportunity of victory they're going to see. There have been a couple moments in this Browns season that made me feel like mentally this team is ready to do a lot of great things. Now, again, just because you're ready for something doesn't guarantee that the opportunity is going to come. I might feel like I'm ready to get a $3 million contract from a sports entity or whatever it is. And I'm not even saying this is the case, just an example. I might feel like I'm ready for it. But the point is, hey, until somebody offers it to me, the opportunity ain't there. And the Browns, they feel like they're ready for this. They feel like they're ready for the playoffs. But are they? Now that is a much, much, much more difficult question to answer. That is what's going to determine what happens for the Browns in this 2024 playoffs, because I do feel like they're as ready as they're going to ever be. Now, do they have the best roster that they can run out there? Most certainly not. I would love this team with the starting quarterback. I mean, Joe Flacco's been fine, but if we had like a real true, like if Deshaun Watson were living up to expectations, we would feel much better about it. But Joe Flacco has been about as good as Watson has been in this season. So you're not too concerned about it. But the piece that we're really missing is Nick Chubb. And I've talked to a lot of people about this matchup, people on the Browns side, people on the Houston Texans side. And what I've gathered from all of these conversations, some that you have seen, some that you have yet to see, but I encourage that you see all of them. And the main thing that I have gathered from this is, man, if Nick Chubb were healthy, we'd have the league terrorized, because that's kind of the only thing that the Browns don't have, right? They have credible enough passing threats with Joe Flacco. They have credible enough receivers, and I'm more than credible, good receivers in David Njoku and Amari Cooper. And then you have guys like Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, Martin Emerson. Like, you know, you're loaded on that defensive side of the ball. The one area in which you go, man, I don't really know, is when people ask you this question about the Cleveland Browns. Hey, if the Browns go up 21-0 on somebody in the playoffs, who are they giving the ball to? Yeah, I know that's the problem, dog. We giving the ball to Jerome Ford or Pierre Strong or Kareem Hunt. And the one thing that all three of those running backs have in common is that there are more people who believe that they aren't the answer than believe that they are the answer. Now, I don't think the run game issues are solely down to the running backs. I do think that the offensive line, when it comes to run blocking, has had a significant step backwards than it has in recent years. And that's not necessarily the offensive lineman's fault. Like, a lot of this is due to injury and everything else, but it does still matter. And I think it's a combination of your run blocking not being great, your running backs not being true erasers. Like, Jerome Ford is great in relief of Nick Chubb. Jerome Ford is somebody who, if you block it up, he can take advantage of it and hit a home run. Jerome Ford is not a creator. Jerome Ford is not going to make something out of nothing. Jerome Ford, he ain't that kind of guy. He needs things to be right in order to be good. Same thing can be said about Pierre Strong. And Kareem Hunt, at this point, he's more of a creator than the other two backs. And I think he will have like a good game in the playoffs here or there. But the bigger problem with Kareem Hunt is how often can you expect him to do that, given that he hasn't really consistently given you those big games in a couple of years. You're just put in a weird spot. And the run game is the one area of this team in which I'm like, I hope we find something, right? If the Browns rush for 200 yards against the Texans, we will be more excited than if Joe Flacco throws for 400. And that is because we know Joe Flacco can throw for 300 yards. We know that he can it's not out the mind. It's not out the realm of realism to believe that he can get to 400. On the other hand, this run game this year Imagining somebody getting to like 160 yards in a game, averaging 5 a carry, that's just, we don't believe that can happen. And if somebody can step into that room and make us believe that that's going to happen, we would be so over the moon, because that's the one thing we feel like we don't have right now. We feel like we have the elite defense. We feel like we have the run game pieces back now that Grant Delpit's at practice. We feel like we have the offense, the passing game. Just that run game is the one little nagging flaw for this team. And that's the one thing that they have to answer this question on. Are they ready? Because other positions have quick fixes. We found Joe Flacco off the street. He was a quick fix for the passing game. Defensively, Ronnie Hickman stepped up. He was a quick fix for this defense. This run game is the one thing that's been up and down all year that we haven't been able to find a quick fix on. Pierre Strong, not a quick fix. Sometimes he's fine, but he's not consistent. More we give him the ball, the more he fumbles. Jerome Ford, not a quick fix. I had a lot of belief in Jerome Ford. He hasn't lived up to my expectations of him as a runner. Same thing can be said of Kareem Hunt. Outside of like short yardage situations, this team has gotten stopped behind the line of scrimmage a fair bit amount of times, and that's the issue. So, are the Browns ready? Is their run game ready? Are they healthy enough? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But y'all have a great day. Have a better night. Peace.